All right, here comes a question from one of my members in Tripp's Corner, which I will keep anonymous. I keep everyone anonymous in there just because it is a private group, and I want to make sure that you feel comfortable that if you join Tripp's Corner, that you can absolutely be free to ask any questions that you have. If you want to join Tripp's Corner, you can. All you have to do is get one of my courses, or you can join the coaching program. Both of those are entrances into giving you access to the private Facebook group where myself and 3 other coaches are. We're there to help answer questions. And there's even 1,800 guys in there. And a lot of those guys are active and answering questions themselves. So you just get a lot of help. And now we're going to help Anonymous. He says, hey guys, do you have any good advice on how to send a first text to a girl once you get her number during an approach? I've tried several different ways, but I always end up getting ghosted. I'm all on board for going for the close first. Just seems like I'm missing something. Okay. So what you have to remember here is 9 times out of 10, it's not the way that you're asking or texting her. It's the way in which you are interacting inside of the approach. Okay. So what this means is that when a girl ghosts you, she's looking at her phone and she's saying to herself, this is someone who I did not have an interaction where I want to see this guy again. Not this text message was funny and weird and I don't like the way he asked me this. I'm just not interested anymore. Always, always, always comes back to that initial interaction. So to diagnose this properly, and for you, Anonymous, is that if you're getting ghosted, you need to go back to what you're doing on the approach. You need to analyze what it is that you're saying, how you're acting, if you're flirting. You need to be paying attention to if you were having a conversation that actually brought up some sort of emotional spike inside of her so that she says, wow, okay, this is a guy who I want to interact with again. A lot of these conversations that guys have are usually on the boring side. So it just doesn't really lend itself to anything. Or it's possible that you just weren't attracted to her or attractive to her, right? So maybe she was just being friendly and having conversation, but she knew that like she just, you weren't her type. And sometimes that's just nothing you can do, but let's focus on what we can control, right? So what are the things we can control in an interaction? We can control the way that you're looking, so we can address your style, your grooming, making sure that that is optimized. We can control the way that you're building tension with her, right? So inside of my TED formula that I talk about, which is tension, entertainment, dominance, right? So are you building sexual tension? Are you giving her good eye contact? When you're talking to her, do you seem kind of nervous or do you seem comfortable? Do you seem confident talking to her and charismatic, or do you seem like you're ready to run away and you're trying to rush through the conversation? Now, you don't have to have always the most interesting conversation. If you learn inside of my coaching program, we give you a script that you'd look at that and say, this is so crazy. This looks so simple. And it is, but it's not just the questions that you might be asking. It's also the way that you're asking them, the way that you're answering her questions, and the way that you're delivering the questions. So if you go up to a girl, for example, and you're talking to her, say, hey, 2 seconds, I wanted to come meet you. And say, hey, where are you from? And she answers, and you say, oh, cool. And you just go right to the next question. Well, what do you do? Okay, now you're talking and just trying to get through the conversation instead of slowing down, relaxed, chatting with her, maybe commenting on something she said, maybe in between questions, inserting something about yourself that you can talk about that is relevant to you so she can get to know you. So there's a lot here and a lot to be said here. Big point is you need to be looking back and seeing, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? One of the ways that we actually help you in the coaching program is we teach you how to record these approaches so we can listen into you. And we can actually give you direct feedback on what it is that you're saying right and what you're doing wrong. So if you want that direct feedback, don't hesitate. Get to trippadvicecoaching.com and we can work with you. But you can also diagnose this on your own. The best way to diagnose it is whatever you're doing now is not working. So in order to fix it, you need to do something different. So I'd make one little change at a time in the interaction so you can see if you end up making a change. So it can be with your eye contact, with the way that you're asking her the questions, with some of the little small talk that you're having in between questions, with the way that you're reacting to her. A lot of guys ask me, how do you make a conversation more interesting and not so boring? Easiest way to do it is polarizing. Polarizing, polarizing, polarizing. The most interesting people in the world are polarizing because they're saying things that are on one end of the spectrum or the other. So really think about what it is that's going on in conversation. If she says, oh, I'm from California, just as an example, you can say, California, that is the absolute worst place to live. I can't believe you're from there. Now, of course, you do this with a smile because it's a joke. You're being somewhat serious, but also you're just being playful and you're teasing. Or you can say, California, I love California. I love it. I can't wait to visit there. I've heard it's amazing, and I just already love it, even though I haven't been there. Whatever. Polarizing means you're taking a stance on one thing or the other. You can do this with things that she likes, places, obviously, where, like I said, where she's from. You could do it on things that she's done, places that she's traveled to, things that she does on the weekend, anything she's talking about. It doesn't matter. Just pick a side. Even if it seems like you're being playful and you're exaggerating and it's not so truthful, just do it. You're going to see more of a reaction from her in conversation. Look at some of the most charismatic leaders. Watch some of their speeches. Watch how they talk and watch how they take stances. Watch people who are generally boring and look how they don't do that, right? So it's always good to bring up more emotion in the conversation by bringing emotion into it.